All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode 2, season 2 of Conqueror Chronicles. No Yoshi again. He apparently doesn't like me very much anymore, but that's okay. Not many people do. But joining me tonight, I got three guests, all of whom are lovely, of course. From North American Partnership, I do have Blackup. How are you doing
Hello.
tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
You know, just can't complain too much. Can't complain. And then from Chewy Gang, I have Nate, also known as SSC in game, right?
That's correct.
And how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just got out of a 12 Divine Rapier Turbo match. It feels good to be a winner.
I mean, is anyone really a winner in that type of situation? I don't know. That's probably a lot of fun.
Yeah, at one point I fed them one intentionally so I could get it back because my friend dropped it. So it all worked out.
Okay, there you go. Beautiful, beautiful. And last but not least, I have Chadenator from Crownfall Fishing Club. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Well, generally with new guests in particular, I always like to kind of ask how you guys, how the team came together. I this week, Blackup, I probably don't need to ask you that because I kind of answered that question last week, a little bit. But what I will ask you though is that last season you took a detour to Warrior. How do you feel coming back to Conquer?
Feels the same, honestly.
Feels the same. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. What do you think of the competition this time comparatively to when you were last in? Because I know last time you played Conk, you won it with HO, and it was a bigger season, I think, right? So, how are you feeling about this season?
Yeah, feeling good so far. I mean, we are undefeated, so it's going pretty well, but I haven't played, we've only played two teams, so it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, true, true. I mean, you are right. We're basically the best there ever was.
Like I said,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, we'll see if that continues. But okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and then Nate, for you, I know last season you were playing on Animal Enclosure. This time around you're on Chewy Gang with I think a very different roster, right? Is there anyone left from Enclosure?
No, so this kind of formed outside of AE. I mean, I had a great time playing with Amir and Gentleman and everybody else on that crew, but uh, decided to get back into the amateur league a little bit more aggressively here. So I reunited a team under Chewy Gang that I played with several years ago. We played in Voyager. We won season 37, and then we kind of took a big break, but. Um, Appa slash Gentleman. He was actually from AE. We really enjoyed playing with each other, and so I brought him in with a couple other old teammates and friends.
Beautiful, beautiful. And actually, just to stay on you for one more second, last season on AE, you were their offlaner, and I remember Amir saying that was an off role for you. Are you playing offlane this year? I think you're the mid, right?
Yeah, actually, last match I played carry. Gentleman had another event going on when we played, and the stand-in we found played mid, so I just switched over to the carry role. Um, I'm kind of somebody that plays a little bit of everything, but mid is my primary role.
Okay, so you're glad to be back then, after your offlane detour, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, I'm here to say hi to everybody in the league, so it's a good time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. And then for Chadenator, I don't know much about you. I know that you were on the Crownfall club last season where you guys went dead last, which was I think you were dead last if I remember correctly. For this season though, you guys are starting off a lot better. So what's changed from this season to last? I know last time you had Cheddar Bear, I think, and I think one other player might have changed, or am I wrong about that?
Yeah. No, you're correct. So this season we carried over three of our members. We have me, God Ramen, and 4G that carried over. And we were able to pick up two new members. We have Waterloo Poppy and Old Greg. And so we've also changed things around a little bit. I've moved from playing mid for the team to playing carry for the team. Um, so I feel like we're getting off to a better start this season than last season for sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And have you all kind of known each other for, or at least like the three of you, have you guys known each other for a while, or is that like, you just kind of came together for that one season? Because I think Fred mentioned that you guys had been together for a while. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right, actually. So the three of us have played since, let me look. I think it's like season 41. 4G's been on a team with me and God Ramen. And me and him have played together for a while now. That's actually my brother. So we've played maybe 4 or 5 seasons now, I think, together. Um, so we've been liking it.
Okay, this is completely new lore. I didn't know that you guys were brothers.
Yeah. I guess we dropped the secret hidden lore.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is giving me like HO vibes here. What the hell? Okay, so there's like a lot of synergy here. Is what you're telling me.
yeah, I'd say so.
Cool, cool. And I think Waterloo Poppy. That sounds familiar. Was he on a different team last season? I feel like he was. Name sounds very familiar.
I don't believe he competed last season, actually. I think this
Really?
may be his first season in AD2L.
Okay. All right. Fair enough then. All right. Cool. Well, thanks for all of you guys kind of sharing a little bit of the forming source. Like I said last season or last episode rather, I find it pretty interesting to know how kind of everyone knows each other and how things came together. So I find that really fascinating. But yeah, specifically, let's talk about last week's matchups. That's kind of what I like to do, or the week that just passed, anyways. Blackup, like we were talking about, we are the best there ever is. We did
Mhm.
2-0 this week.
Mhm.
Um, now, how do you feel the matches went from your point of view, though? I mean, obviously, with the 2-0, you're probably gonna say it went pretty good, but it was against Skeletons, who I think people have a pretty high opinion on this season in particular. So do you think it went pretty okay, pretty convincing? Are you worried for the future?
No, I think we're just gonna get better as the season goes on. I think the games were close though. I don't think they were blowouts, except for maybe the one game two against Skeletons. But other than that, they were good games.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I think that game two was probably more one-sided for sure. Out of all the games that we've played this season so far. But game one was very close. Definitely pretty back and forth. I think that the drafting in particular, that series was actually pretty good. It felt like it was a pretty even matchup there. I had actually asked Spike about it too, and I guess game two, he had specifically picked the shaman because he thought that we were gonna pick the tide because the hex breaks, right? So it was like
Yeah,
kind of like it was supposed to be like a block pick, kind of. Didn't end up working for them, but it was definitely a fun series. I'm interested to see how Skeletons do with the rest of the season because I think that they're still a very quality team, despite the 2-0. I think that was a very interesting matchup that we had, and yeah, I also think that we're looking good for the future. I think the vibes are very good. Blackup's obviously the best player I've ever played with too, so he'll probably just continue to carry me.
uh-huh.
So that's it's no problems there, no problems there.
Hey,
Um,
I want to go back though. You said they picked the Shadow Shaman because they thought we were gonna pick the Tide.
apparently, yeah.
How does that work? Doesn't Tide just break the shackles?
Well, no, so the hex breaks, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So I think the logic was that they were like, okay, well, if you pick the tide, we'll just like hex the tide, and then we can kill him during the hex duration because of the break. But
Gotcha.
didn't end up working out that way. I think that this Zeus Tide combo that we're rocking right now is
Don't
undefeated.
don't don't no, don't talk about the tech.
Okay, true. Yeah, I we
No, no, no.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
taking
gonna
notes.
take a note, take notes,
No,
write it
no.
all down. Right. I mean, it's not like we've done it 3 games out of 4 and won all 3 of them. But yeah, no, I won't talk about it. I won't talk about the tech guys. Don't ban it. It's not very good. So okay, fair enough. Okay, but for Nate and Chadenator, you guys actually played each other in this last week. And it was a 2-0 in the Way of Chewy Gang. I did that. That was the only matchup I had predicted correctly. And I only did that because you seemed pretty confident, Nate. You were like, you know what, we got the 2-0 in spite of the stand-in. But from your guys' perspective, how do you guys think the games went? I'll start with Nate because he did get the 2-0. So, how do you think it went?
I strictly have my team to thank for that performance. I really enjoy playing position one, but it's not my strongest suit, I guess. Um, but as a team, we really kind of just held those games out and wound up being the victors in the end. They were both, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 minutes, something like that. They were very long and back and forth. And I mean, we felt like we had a good grasp on it the whole time, but they were very long.
Yeah, so I actually had checked that series. I was watching live a little bit of it actually because I we didn't have a series. We had to reschedule. And I had just finished watching the Easy Youngblood against Grinsyth series. I was like, oh, this game is still going on. And that's when I realized that both of your games were over an hour 5 minutes. You guys had some marathon matches here, like just impressive, really. And I know on Chewy Gang, you guys had someone's kid stand in, and he looked really good actually. Like I think he played really well. His Lena game one was like I would say probably the largest reason that you guys won, at least from like a spectator's point of view. He did really good. Even game
Definitely.
two, he did really well. I think. Obviously, his KD wasn't quite as good, but I think he really controlled the game quite well. So that's
Yeah,
definitely
what can you do against the old OD mid, right? So he played his best with the Earthshaker, and he held it together. He was a great guy to play with.
yeah, for sure. But Chadenator, obviously, on the flip side, getting the O2 in this matchup. How do you feel it went, and do you think that there's still room for improvement, obviously, in the future? We were talking about it a little bit before we went live, but I think you guys had a really good showing, actually. In spite of the fact that you got O2'd. I think this could have been a 2-0 either way, honestly. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I feel that both games were pretty close. We never really felt like we were completely hopeless until the games actually ended. They always felt like we were still in it and we were still able to make some plays and get some ground. Um, and then, especially game two, we felt like we were really making progress and trying to close out the match. But then, obviously, we fell short before the end of the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was really unfortunate. Like I was saying, I think in both games, you actually particularly played quite well. I think you weren't able to entirely take it over the line, but definitely was a solid performance. And I know last week actually, if we could just talk about that, you guys got a pretty good statement to over Slugbears as well, and I think no one had predicted that. Do you think that your guys' team this time around for sure is here to play? I mean, you had a lot to prove after getting the lowest placement last season, but you're already off to a really good start. So can we expect more from this?
Definitely. We've tried to play more games in the off season as a group to try to work on things and get prepared for this season. And so far, we're feeling pretty good. We're here to compete and do better than last season for sure.
All right, beautiful. I mean, you've pretty much already done better than last season, so this you're off to a good start for that. For that, you know what I mean? You're off to a great start there.
Sure.
So this is perfect. This is perfect. Now, normally when I do these episodes, we have the week 2 matchup. This time around, I actually don't have the week 2 matchup, but I figured what might be fun is just asking you guys who you guys would like to play. Blackup, we obviously would have to either play Easy Youngblood or Chewy. Do you have a preference on which team you'd rather play?
I have a feeling we're gonna be playing Easy Youngblood just because they got the bye week and they're technically undefeated. But both of them look good teams. I don't know which one I'd rather play, but maybe I guess Easy Youngblood because they're undefeated. Sounds more prestigious.
Yeah, no, totally fair. I think like if I wanted to have like the meta answer, I think I'd rather play Chewy only because they've played 2 full season or series, right? So there's more data there to kind of look at and like, think like, okay, like what are they going to draft? Like, how do they play? Whereas these young blood, like you mentioned, they do have the bye week, so they're a little bit lesser known. And because of that, you know, it's just less to go on, right? But I do think it would be interesting to kind of play against Easy Youngblood, and I'm definitely interested to see how they perform, especially because they did get the 2-0 over Scythe, which I think was a bit of a shocking result. But
I think didn't everyone get 2 over Scythe?
no, they tied
Oh,
the
they did
first
win.
week. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they tied the first week against. Oh
Chewy
god,
gang.
Chewy. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it's
So
I
I
felt it was
guess
Saban. Go ahead.
going based on that, that would mean Easy Youngblood's the better team, right? They 2-0'd, where Chewy 1-1'd.
You know what? I think that's exactly what that means. Nate, what do
Wow.
you got to say about that?
The only thing that's on my mind right now is North American partnership. We're gonna have to do some tariffs, and we're taking y'all down.
Fair.
Okay, totally fair. Well, listen. U.S. and Canada, we've come together to form a fantastic partnership. So I don't know. Your tariffs might not do much to us. You know what I mean? So good luck. Good luck. It would definitely be a lot of fun to play Chewy Gang. I think that roster that you guys have, I think is really good on paper. So I'm definitely interested to play against you guys for sure. But Chadenator, you have a lot of different potential options. It's either probably Spooky Skeletons or Savage. Do you have a preference on who you play?
I'd like to see Savage Spirits. They've been around for quite a while, so I've seen the team name and seen the team in previous seasons.
Mhm.
So I would like to play them.
Okay. Totally, totally fair. Totally fair. Now, I wanted to switch tune a little bit here and get a little bit of you guys' perspective on the patch, what you kind of want from the next patch. Me and Chad Nader were actually talking about this before we went live as well, once again, complaining about some of the aspects of the patch. But from a mid laner's point of view, Blackup, is there anything that you really are wanting to see a difference on? Besides the kind of having to play Lena Quap because those heroes are very strong. But is there anything else that you really are hoping to get out of a new patch?
Want that small camp back.
Oh yeah,
It
true.
was so good. I don't know why they got rid of it.
Oh, that was so good. Actually, yeah, it was right to the left of the tower. It was so nice,
Yeah,
especially on like any like flash farmer like Necro or Quap. It was awesome. God
exactly.
dang.
Necro and Coddle, actually. You just blast the wave, and while he's dealing with it, you go steal his camp.
Oh yeah,
It was
totally,
incredible.
totally. Is Are there any like mid heroes that you think would be a lot of fun if they were back in
Omni.
meta? Omni?
Omni.
Omni,
Omni.
oh my god, okay. You just want to be able to play Omni mid again, is what you're
Uh-huh.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, totally fair, totally fair. Uh, Nate, is that same question to you? Is it like what's your most looking forward to with a new patch?
There's three things we need for this new patch:
Okay.
Exort Invoker, Flow
Preach.
Morph, and Snapfire right click. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, well, listen, all I'm gonna say is that I feel like Blackup's done Exhort Invoker with me. Is it dead really?
I don't think it's dead. I just like AFKing and sunstriking people.
My
I
You know,
man.
that's really just the most fun you can have in a game of Dota.
I feel like that's half the games we play together, Blackup, is you AFK sound striking people.
You can do it anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, I mean, it's possible, but no. Okay, totally fair, totally fair. Okay. And hey, actually, Flo Morphling. Listen, we should have got Benny on this call. I mean, he's. Have you seen his tech with the Flo Morphling?
I've seen the tech. I've seen the Dota 2 Pro Tracker. I know it's actually a legit thing, but
Yeah,
we
it's
need
a
a little
thing.
bit more matches.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Did we talk about how that's infringing on Stretchy's copyright on it from the playoffs 2 seasons ago?
Wait. He. Oh yeah. I saw this on in the conch chat that he was like the first person to pull that out, right?
Yep, he did it. I think it was against a Timber, and he just turned into Timber every fight.
Oh
Panned
my
around
god.
and stuff.
Wow. Okay. What did he do? Like what was his build? Do you remember? Was it like Aether
I
Lens
have
and
no
shit?
idea.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, Stretchy does play some pretty unorthodox fours. I mean, last night was the Troll Warlord. That was a very
Classic.
interesting. That was a classic. That was a
Mm.
classic. It almost worked if I didn't feed maliciously. So it would have been okay probably, but
Could
happens.
be.
Happens. All right, and then Chadenator, obviously as the pause one in the call. From your perspective, what would you like changed with the new patch? Is there anything that you think really needs to be changed up?
This might be a hot take, especially from a pause one, but I think we need to shrink the map and go back to not having the nook and all these camps on the side. It's too much, in my opinion. I think if you lose lane super hard, it should be dangerous for you to try to farm. And being able to just fall back to the nook and get, what is it, like 7 free HP regen on Dire side? Stuff like that is, I don't think it's great for the game. And the second one I would like to see is somehow less glyphs. They've done a little bit good putting that on the barracks instead of on the T3,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it feels like it really slows down a lot of early momentum if you just run into, glyph resets constantly.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm like you mentioned, it's actually a lot better than it used to be on the tier 3, right? I think.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
was on
so
the T3.
annoying. It was so annoying. Oh my god, going high ground was such a nightmare. But yeah, no, that's totally fair. Actually, large map, that's an interesting thing you brought up. I for a while was extremely against the large map. It took me a long time to get used to that. I don't even know if I'm still used to that. It still feels weird to me. What are your guys' thoughts
Hmm.
on the large map comparatively to the small map? Is it like a good thing, Blackup?
Well, Viper's really slow, you see, so it's hard for him to traverse the big map. So yeah, it's a bad change.
Okay. I mean, it is the year of the snake, so I think in
Yeah,
honor of the year of the snake, we need to shrink the map size so he can
I think
slither
that's what
around
they
the
were
map.
hinting at.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think okay. That's totally fair. Nate, what do you think on the large map? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like playing Dota where I can just AFK and not think about a single thing. So just hit some creeps, listen to the sound of gold jingling in my pocket. It's a good night.
Fair enough. Fair enough, yeah. No, I like I said, it took a long time for me to get used to the large map. It really I don't know. Maybe I'm just yeah, I don't know. Probably it also probably just takes me a while to get used to things, but I could be okay with shrinking the map, but see now the problem though is that I'm used to the large map. So I feel like going back to the smaller map would confuse me. And overall, I actually hate map changes. This is my hot take. I hate map changes. I know people really want map changes, but it takes me so long to get used to map changes that I would just rather they don't happen. I'd rather there only be hero changes. I don't know if that's too much of a hot take. I don't know if you guys are on board with that, but I fucking hate map changes.
I think you need to ask a support that. They'll probably hate all of our opinions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just like a bunch of cores here, right? It's just a bunch of cores. That's totally fair. Okay. No. Okay. Totally fair. All right, and then just one last question then before I kind of let you guys carry on here. Blackup, what do you think is the most underrated hero in your position right now?
Lion.
Why? Are you...
I'm not memeing.
Okay,
It is
can you
good.
can you explain this a little bit? Why is Lion the most underrated pause 2?
It is amazing for initiation and scaling. You
Okay.
build him with the punch, you get crit in the late game with BKB, you can just 5-man.
five. You can 5-man, really? You
Yep.
can
You
five.
just punch them all down, you get cleave for
Uh,
free.
okay. Okay.
It's like Red Dragon, you know?
What? What's the build though? What's like do you go like blink? Do you rush the Ags or do you go blink Ags or
The Ags is a bait. What you do is you get Witchblade first with some treads, and then you get the blink,
Oh my.
then you get the Ags.
You okay. Okay, so you go Witchblade first so you can slow
Yep,
people with the extra
correct.
damage, and
Hmm.
then you go the blink and then you go the Ags.
Hmm.
But doesn't that neuter your scaling ability if you don't get the eggs quick?
You'll scale enough. Like when you punch someone, you get a stack. So when
Okay,
you're
yeah.
wiping the team, you get 5 stacks.
When you're wiping the
That 5
team,
times, that's like 100 stacks or something.
right? Okay, yeah. So you just
Yeah.
gotta find a way to wipe the team with your midline
Yes.
and the rest of the draft. Okay, all right. I appreciate that. That's not the hero I thought you were gonna say. So that's really that's fun. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for your input. Okay, Nate, for you're also a mid, so do you have a different underrated hero that's not mid lion?
Uh, who is Lion?
Good answer.
There's got to be
No, I think I would think PA is my underrated. I love to play at mid hero. Just kind of late at night when there's not a lot of action going on, I could pick a good PA and just push the lane, farm the jungle camp, go back and forth. Uh, it's a good feeling.
What in the world is going on? I wanted some legit picks. We're coming out here with mid lion, mid PA.
These are
Okay.
legit thoughts from your
these
mid
are
laners.
these are like the deep dark thoughts in like the back of the mid laner minds here. Okay.
PA
All
Lion
right.
sounds very fun.
I yeah. Okay. What is the build on a mid PA? Is it like still the Battle Fury, or do you go like like an Echo Saber build or something? I don't know.
It's Mask of Madness. Like Sanjin Yasha, BKB. Easy game.
Easy game. Okay. If I ever had a mid PA that went Mask of Madness SNY VKB in my game, I don't know if I'd be thinking that, but you know what? That's awesome though. I appreciate that. Okay. Chadenator, what do you think's an underrated pause one right now?
I don't know if it's as wild as those, but I feel like Wraith King should probably get played a little bit more now than he does. I think he's actually pretty strong in a lot of matchups currently.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. And I'm assuming you think it'd be like still the same kind of like Radiance build, right?
Yeah, normally the Radiance build I think is better right now. Um, and in some games you could still do the Armlet build if you don't need the Radiance.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I think in our matchup this week, Blackup, I think they played a Wraith King carry, didn't they?
They did. That
Yeah.
was the cursed game too.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them very good. I'm gonna be honest, but you know what? It was also Wraith King against Tide, which I think is probably not the best matchup for Wraith King. Any melee hero kind of struggles against Tide, so that's yeah,
Yeah.
I won't hold it against him too much. I'm trying to think if there's like an underrated pause 3. I don't know. I haven't played a ton of Pause 3, so it's kind of hard for me to think of an underrated
I mean,
Pause
that's
3.
not undying yet.
Oh yeah. Okay, let you just you just you just got me started here. Undying 3, guys, I'm telling you, Undying 3 is good. Okay? Here's why. I'll give you the whole reason why, okay? Because if you're snowballing a game, okay, you just gotta have the lanes win, which is fine because Undying is a good laner. Okay, so the offlane's guaranteed, no problem. You gotta get either your mid or your safe lane to win. Okay, then you max the tomb. All right, you get an Echo Saber, then Harpoon with treads. You just run at people. Okay, really good. All you have to do is you have to make sure your team has disable because you offer none of that. There's no disabling coming out of Undying. But here's the other good thing. Especially with the S and Y, okay, with S and Y being as good as it is, status resist, attack speed. Exactly what Undying 3 wants, okay? Then you get a blink or a BKB, you freaking run at people, all right? Really good. Very, very good. I think it's underrated. Blackup, that's a great shout out actually. You just answered my own question for me. All I'm saying, pick some Undying 3, guys. Let's make it happen. Make Undying 3 again. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And
100%.
you gotta pair it with a mid that has like maybe a stun and a hex.
Yeah,
Those two specific spells, yeah.
yeah, this is the only problem with the Undying 3 is that he offers like nothing that you want the normal offlaner to offer. Like he's got no disable, no good spell usage to really control a fight beside Tomb. long cooldown. You know, like I'm not saying it's
Yeah, it's pretty
perfect.
bad.
I'm not saying it's perfect, okay,
It's
Nate?
pretty fucking bad.
I'm not saying, oh, but PA mid and Lion mid is good. Come on now. I mean,
Oh my
like,
god.
I'm just saying, okay? I
Well,
think
I need disables mid because my offlane picked Undying.
that, well, okay, you know what? Blackup, I think we got our next 2OQ lined
Oh
up.
yeah,
If
100%.
I'll do a dying off lane if you do Lion mid. This is amazing. It's got to be that
Absolutely.
that exact build though. Don't skip the Witchblade. That's
Why would I?
you're cooking with this actually 100%. Okay. All right, sounds great. Well, well, listen, guys. I think I could probably end it off here. Thanks everyone for joining me very much. Appreciate that. You guys have any final thoughts or final closing statements to make?
Are we gonna go over the games?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
The fuck are you talking about?
Am I in the wrong podcast?
Maybe, dude. What games are you
Oh,
talking about?
Conqueror games.
Son of
Thought this was Conqueror Chronicles.
a motherfucker, we went over the games. What?
What?
What games do you want to go over? Our games, Nap? Games?
No? All of them. What's
Holy
happening?
son of a bitch, you want to go over every single game?
I don't
Fuck.
know.
I love it
That was the
actually.
plan. I didn't get the itinerary. You didn't send
Okay.
it to me.
No, listen, this is awesome. Okay. I listen. We're cooking here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then let's talk about the Easy Youngblood against Scythe. That was a 2-0 for Easy Youngblood. I think that was largely unexpected. I think for the majority of people. Um, did anyone watch that series at all or no?
I did not.
No, wasn't able to catch it.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't think most people would. But as a general kind of thought process though, do you guys how do you guys feel about Grinsythe as a team? I think probably some of you guys have played against them before, I imagine. Um, oh, maybe not actually. Nate, you played against Chronicles last season, right?
It looks like actually I played against him. I believe, yeah, we played against him last week.
Oh, did you? Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, you got the tie against them, right? It was a 1-1. What do you feel about Scythe moving forward? Because I know that a lot of people had them as a dark horse. I actually had them as a dark horse myself, personally. I actually thought that they might take some names, but I was very shocked that they got 2-0'd by Easy Youngblood. So do you have any opinions on Scythe moving forward?
I just want to let them know we're coming back. We're coming for the 2-0. Those were the first two games our team had ever played together. So they just need to check our Dota bus and be prepared. Chewy Gang it's coming.
The way those were your first two games ever playing with each other.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough. And but you still got the tie. Actually, I think the first games that we ever played with each other on Nap was our first series too, wasn't it, Blackup?
Sorry, say that again?
Was the first like our first series that we played? That was the first time that we ever played with all of us too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? Okay, that's totally fair. Listen, you got to gather some intel, okay? And then Scythe's got to be prepared for the rematch, but it's gonna be a 2-0 for Chewy this time. Totally
Big
fair.
time.
Big time, big time. Okay, totally fair. The other series that happened, I actually casted this one too. With IPA on the final match there. I'm not sure if anyone caught this one too. It was MHK FC against Savage Spirits. Savage Spirits did get the 2-0 on that one. I'm actually surprised about that. I had MHK as my favorite on that series. But Savage kind of destroyed them actually. I'm not sure if you guys kind of expected that or were, if you guys have any thoughts about this either.
I'm looking at the games right now, and this looks like Bloodseeker and Slark. The safe laner for Savage Spirits just went off both games.
Oh yeah, it was yeah. Benny had really good both games. In particular, like and I say this with like the nicest, i- like the nicest way possible. I like MHK a lot. Nothing against them. They felt really outclassed in that series. To be honest, I think in both games they got pretty handedly beaten. I don't really think there was a time that it looked like it was going to work for them. At certain moments, Savage Spirits kind of did a little bit of throwing, but overall, it was a pretty one-sided victory. I think MHK would do better if they also didn't draft some of this trolley stuff too. Like,
Like what?
I mean, offlane
R-
sniper. Like, I don't know.
Standard.
Standard,
You got the
standard.
roaming ogre.
I, I mean, listen. You guys were talking about the offlane undying being bad. All I'm saying is that if would you rather an offlane undying or an offlane sniper?
I mean,
I think
offlane
you got
sniper
me.
has a stun.
I think I'll take the Undying. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
flopping.
Yeah, see, this is just it. No, like I don't know. Like I think they are a good team, and I think that they are good players. But sometimes I think they cook a little too hard in these drafts. Like I don't know. Like that was the same game too that they did a sniper 3 with a morphling 4, which is like I just don't know what you're supposed to do in that. Like I don't know. That's a very weird uh dual lane. I think I said it on the draft too, but like if I was loading up a pub and I saw a sniper morphling offlane combo, I I don't know if I'd be very enthused to play the rest of the game. So I think if they kind of do a little bit more orthodox drafting, tighten up some gameplay, I think that they'd be a fine team moving forward. But yeah, I think drafting was one of the biggest flaws in that game. Chadenator, do you have anything to add?
Um, yeah, I would have to agree with that. If I saw Sniper 3 in my pub, which you do sometimes, you kind of feel like you're in for not such a good game at that point. But on the flip side, if I had to play against a sniper in a morphling lane in a league match, I would have no idea what I'm supposed to do against it because I have no experience against that combination in the lane. That'd be a first time.
That's true. You know what? I think maybe what their plan was here, actually, was just inflicting mental damage. Because imagine if they could win with a Morphling sniper offlane duo. I feel like the mental damage, for actually losing to that would be so substantial that they could have maybe just made them like disband. They would have been like, "Fuck, I can't believe we lost to that shit." Boom, Savage is just out. MHK could just carry that high. You know what I mean? All the way to the end. So who
That's the
knows?
take. Yeah.
That might be the tech right there for sure. Um, you know what? Actually, I just realized that's literally all the matchups because we have a bye week, so it was just Slugbears against bye week. Interesting. It really sucks. I think with the bye week, especially in the earlier weeks. I'm not sure what you guys think about that, but it always sucks when it's like you get 2-0'd, right? Like Slugbears got 2-0'd by Crownfall, and then they instantly have a bye week, right? So
Yeah.
they can't even bounce back, right? Like they just kind of have to like, oh, okay, I guess we just get a week off. Do you guys think that that's a good thing for the team or actually a negative thing?
I think it's a negative thing just because you want to play Dota and you can't.
That's what I think too, right? Because it's like if I got 2-0'd, I'd want to be like, okay, let's take a look at what went wrong. Let's try to find like a solution for next week, and then let's try to apply it, right? But if you can't apply it and you can't play, it's like it just kind of sucks, right? I'm not sure if either of you have a different take.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I agree for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree as well. If I got to choose when my bye week was, I'd like to have it the last week before playoffs. Um, and then that way I know if I'm going to get in the playoffs or not, and I don't have anything to worry about that week.
Yeah, no, totally fair, totally fair. I actually think in this case it's even worse. Like I was saying, like the further you go in, because now MHK has a bye week after they just got 0-2 twice. Like that has got to be like the worst feeling. Like just back to back double L's, and then now it's like, oh, I guess we just get a week off. Like that's tough. That's actually really tough. I didn't even think of it like that until right now. But and the thing that sucks too is that it really puts you kind of in a bad position of like you have to start winning these games, like seriously, right? I think with a 9-team participation, I think only one team will miss playoffs. But still, I mean, that sucks being that one team now that's going to be 1-5 at week 3, right? Like you kind of really have to start winning every single game, otherwise it puts you in a pretty dangerous spot. So,
That's
yeah,
life.
that is life. That is life.
Don't be the worst.
don't don't be the worst. Try being the best instead, right? So that's totally fair. Okay, you were right though, Blackup. I completely forgot about going over the other matchups. So thanks for the reminder. Thanks for the reminder of telling me how to do my job. But no, at this point though, that's pretty much all I have. So I could probably let you guys go now. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.